So this is not the real skeleton. This is a replica. The real skeleton is 9 feet under. This is the spine and the rib cages. And this particular one was wrecked in the ocean. These cannons are 3 types. We have the Portuguese type, the Omani type, and the British. Those ones you see out there are for British.
Okay, my name is Michael. Hapa ni Nyali beach. It's a public beach, also it's like a private. Yeah, so hapa tunafunguaga asubuhi 6:30 mpaka 6:30 PM. So tunawakaribisha sana Nyali beach, na niko na mahali hapa chini naweza kujionyesha kile tunafanya na zile activities zenye ziko. Karibuni. Okay, this is my badge na imeandikwa Mkajire staff, is the same as ukiona hapa nyuma kwa t-shirt, ndo badge yetu tunakuaga. So lazima ukiwa kwa kibanda ikuwe na brand yako ya job imeandikwa hapo nyuma, na lazima uko na so that usisumbuane na mgeni ukimchukua kule mbele ama kumleta, lazima ajue penye unafanyia na aone label na jina. So hapa hivi tunaanza kuhang nguo kama hivi. Hizi ndo za kuhang sasa, kama hapa. Hizi za kuhaya pia. Okay, hizi inakuaga 50, ukichukua kama top ni 50, short ni 50. So kuna hizi za full pia inakuaga kama dress, inakuaga 100 kuhaya. Yep. Okay, kama venye mmeona place ndo hii, Babu Mkajire Nyali Beach Top Renters is the same as venye imeandikwa hapa hivi Nyali Beach. Mkajire staff is the same venye imeandikwa hapa hivi. So nikikuchukua pale na kuambia na kuintroduce pale penye nafanya, na lazima ujue make sure imeandikwa hivyo, na uone shirt yangu nyuma imeandikwa video. Hii ni uniform na ni full badge. So hapa hivi activities zenye ziko, tunadili kuhaya, tuna rent hizo nguo, floaters pia zinakuaga na locker. So kuna storage box yenye ukikuja kama mgeni lazima tukuweke vitu zako safe, ambapo kuweka safe inakuaga 100 per sack, naweka kwa sack na kila sack iko na namba. Then kuna hizi viti pia tuna haya ni 50 bob unlimited time, na hizo nguo pia kuna shoti za wanaume na shoti za wanawake. So shoti ya mwanaume ni 50 unlimited time. Hizo yani kitu nyota haya ni unlimited time, haina ati nitakutembea kwa mdau la hasha. Na pia stoshe tunakuaga hapa na activities za boti pia, kama unavyoona tunakuaga na boti zetu pia. Ya hizi boti tuna haya. So kuna hiyo kama ni sisi East Africans tunalipa 1630 including the ticket marine, then 1630. Then kama ni foreigner kidogo kuna kuaga na different prices. Kama foreigner for the ticket analipa $70, which is like 2000 and something. But for the Kenyans ticket inakuaga 130, which nasema 1630. Ndio tunakuja 1630 kwa sababu hiyo 130 inaingia kwa ticket. Hiyo 1500 for the trip. Ina take 1 hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours. Ina visit island, starfish na marine park. Most of the time tunakuaga na island kama maji imetoka. Yep. So island si one lazima uipate juu inategemea na rate ya maji. Unaweza pata maji kwa mingi, hauwezi pata hiyo island. So mgeni ukikuja ukiambiwa unaorganize activities lazima uone island, starfish na marine park. Hiyo moja is not a must. Juu tunakuaga 50-50. Yeah, but marine park na starfish garden it's a must. Lazima utaziona hizo. Yeah.
Yani mnachukua mkiingia ndani?
Okay, from hapa boat inakuaga hapa ina park So kutoka hapa paka pale, first unaenda paka Voyager for the ticket. KWS where they unakata ticket hapo hivyo 130. Hiyo ticket sorry. Then from there ndo unaanza trip yako. Ambapo hiyo trip kwanza hapo hesabu minutes mpaka uanze kutoka kutaka ya kulipa ticket. Ndio ina take 130 minutes to 2 hours. Juu lazima ukifika huko snork kwa hiyo starfish, kwa Marine Park lazima uswim na samaki uzifeed pia. Yeah, lazima ufeed samaki. Yeah, that's what tunachukua hiyo muda, lazima ushuke, uswim, ufeed samaki, weke mkate kwa mdomo maybe kama si muoga.
Watu wanaenda ni island.
Yeah, okay, island ndio inakuwa the first kufika. But kama maji hakuna maji imeenda. Unajua maji inatoka ikirudi. So kama maji imetoka tunapata island. But kama maji iko mingi hauwezi pata island. Imezibwa. Umeona? But kama ni muda ukipata island tunashuka, tunatembea hapo kwa island, unapata hizo coral, naona hizo some different fish kama sea cheese whatever. Then tuko hapo tunakuja paka starfish garden. Starfish where the diver anashuka chini, analeta starfish mna land, how it breathe in the water, out of the water, how it survive, unaona. Then tuko hapo ndo tuna end up na Marine Park. Marine Park huko kuna hizo samaki zebrafish ziko friendly, so una swim nazo, una feed, unaona. Hiyo pia ina muda wake. So kila place ukienda ina take 30 minutes. Ndio maana ingia 1 hour and 30 minutes. But kama kule ikichukua muda mwingi ndio inachukua 2 hours. Yeah, but most waga ni 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, this is the storage box locker wenye unaona. So hapa tunaweka hizo, ukipoa gunia yako ikiwa mzigo tunaweka hapa, tunalock kabisa na kufuli ndio iwe safe zaidi. Kama hii ukiingia ndani hapo ndo na change hapo ndani hivyo na change kitu tunalock kabisa. Floaters venye unaona, floater ndo hizi za kuswim. Kama maybe mtu hujui kuswim pia inakuwa kidogo na kusaidia.
Tube za gari.
Yeah, tube za gari na inakuwaga 100 kwa kukodisha from medium. Then kuna za watoto pia zinakuwaga 50 bob. Kama hizi kushuka chini ni 50 bob. Hizi kwenda juu ni 100 kukodisha. Yeah. Nakuwaga na lampa yake ndani.
Hey, what's up guys? So welcome to Shamba Life TV. Today we are at a place called Fort Jesus, as you can see behind me. And taking us on this tour is none other than my boy Raphael, who's going to show us more about this and what you can do about it. So welcome, let's go.
Yes, how are you?
Jambo sana.
Jambo sana, how is it going?
It's good. My name is Leroy.
Yeah, welcome Leroy. My name is Raphael.
Yeah.
Karibu sana for Jesus.
And this is Shamba Life TV.
Oh, all right. That's beautiful. Welcome.
Okay. So we are here for a tour. Maybe I can, from this point, I can just lead it to you.
Yeah.
You take us through from payment all the way to inside, and then we come out and then we call it a day.
That's okay.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. So the fort was built in 1593 by the Portuguese. Of course, they say the Portuguese, but of course the local people are the ones who really did the hard labor, the hard work. Like here now, when you come into this entrance, it is kind of bended. But there's a soldier up there who is checking the doorway. So that watchtower you see there was strategic. It was supposed to check who is coming into the fort. Is it a friendly person or an enemy? And they'd always order. So like this other side, you'll see there's a cannon, and there are some soldiers peeping through those gaps. So it was like a security thing.
And the soldiers have like rifles?
Yeah, rifles, musket guns, and they'd always be watching over.
Okay. So now, welcome. Maybe you take us through. This is the main entrance.
This is the main entrance. And up there, we have an inscription of the Portuguese. That is Portuguese language. And it is all about one of the very young captains who ruled Mombasa and managed to do a lot for His Majesty, for his king. So that translation is inside here.
It's inside here.
Yeah.
So welcome, guys. Let's go.
And here we have a very interesting door. The door has some sharp pointed objects. You see this?
Okay.
This was to stop any animal from breaking down the doors.
For example,
during the
like
15th century, horses, camels, donkeys. Because in the 15th century, they would always leave their doors closed. And anyone who is an enemy would come in, but of course would come with force. Some of them would even use some very heavy logs to break down the doors. Now this was to protect anyone to do that. And before they come in, there was a latch.
Okay.
Which somebody would peep through. Yeah. And then check whether it is a friendly person who's coming in or not.
Or it's a dangerous person.
Yeah, a dangerous person. And then this was a knocker. So this, when you knock, the sound is quite loud. And because it is hollow, they'll be able to echo it inside the courtyard. So everybody would hear the sound. Someone is knocking in the door. And they would welcome them.
So this is like a vacuum.
Yeah,
like a vacuum.
It's like a vacuum. You see, the room is just like a vacuum, like a hollow part. Now, when the sound is sounded here, it makes a kind of a vacuum or an echo. So it goes echoing inside.
All the way to the chamber.
Yeah, all the way to the chambers.
Okay, so first things first, I know like when it comes for Jesus, is this, first of all, is that national heritage? Or
This is National Museums of Kenya.
National Museum.
Yes, National Museums of Kenya, and it is a World Heritage Site. So it's under the Ministry of Sports, Ministry of Culture, Wildlife and Tourism right now. And when somebody comes here, normally they pay. For the locals, it's 200 shillings for adults, 100 shillings for young kids. And then for internationals, it's different. 1,200 for adults and 600 for the child.
For the child.
And then East African community, that is Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and Somali. No, not Somali, but let's South Sudan,
Burundi,
Rwanda, Burundi. They pay a different rate, which is 400 for the adults, 200 for the kids.
For the kids.
Yes.
So it's a little bit subsidized.
A little bit subsidized.
But
for international, it's all the way up.
All the way up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the aerial view of Fort Jesus from the top. If you have a drone or maybe you're flying over it, this is the shape you see.
Okay.
And what shape can you see here?
When I look at it, I can see a head.
There's a head. The head is here. The head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. It's like somebody stretched
on a cross.
Yes, on a cross.
Like this. Yeah.
So it was dedicated to the human body because it was built in the Renaissance period when people were so interested in human ability, the human beings, the fossils were being discovered and all that. So the head is towards the seaward side. The arms are projected, like this is one arm, the other arm. And you notice there are watchtowers all over. There's a watchtower here, there's a watchtower all around. Because it was a military fortification. And so all soldiers who were here, they were always checking on anyone who was attacking. At some point, we worked with the Sultanate of Oman because, the Omanis occupied the fort, so they were interested in some history. That's why you can see the Sultanate of Oman emblem. Yeah. And then National Museums of Kenya. That's the sign.
That's the sign.
Yeah.
So this is what you see when you come to Fort Jesus. The first thing that you'll see is the map of the area. So I guess with that, we can proceed.
Yeah. The fort was built in 1593. That is when...
By the Portuguese.
Yeah, by the Portuguese. It took them 3 years for them to complete the structure. And it was the local people who were being given foodstuff to come and work here. And then they'll take the food to their families. But after some time, the local people were not happy with the rule of the Portuguese because they were so arrogant. They would burn houses, they would kill people. And so they decided to go and talk to the Omani Sultanate in Muscat. Already they had interacted in trade.
Were the Omani living here?
No, they were not here, but they were coming to do trade and go back. So in around the time that the Portuguese were here, already the Omanis were interacting with the local people. So the leaders of the local people, now the Swahilis, went to the Omani to seek for redemption
from the Portuguese.
From the Portuguese. And that's when now in 1696, Omani naval ship came and they laid a siege around the fort. So the soldiers who were inside here could not go out. They'd always die of hunger. Others died of diseases, of course. 2.5 years they were locked inside here.
2.5 years?
2.5 years.
Imagine that.
It's a long time. But they were so tactical because they would bring in food secretly in some passages, I'll show you. And they had some storage of that stuff. So that is what really kept them going for all these 2.5 years. Then they had a water system that was always controlling the water in the site. The water would always collect water from the rain.
Rainwater.
Yeah.
And that's what they use for.
That's what they would use for. So they could miss food, but they would take water, which could give them some more time.
Mileage.
So in 1698, they succeeded. The Arabs came through. They took over the fort, and they ruled for over 200 years. Yeah. But at some point, the British now Royal Navy also came, and it was a collaboration of the Arabs and the British to take out some people who were already in Mazrui here. They were called Mazrui people. The Mazrui were ruling on behalf of the Sultan.
These were local?
Yeah, local people, yes. And so the Sultan, who had kept them here, was not happy with how they were leading the other people. So he came with the British, and they had superior weapons. So they bombarded the place and took over. And when the British now had an agreement with the Sultan, they made this prison a government prison. This fort, a government prison. So for so many years, it has been the first prison in Kenya. And many of the people, yes, this one, before Kamiti, before...
this was the first prison?
This was the first prison. Before Shimolatewa.
In Kenya?
Yeah, in Kenya, yes, in Kenya. And maybe East Africa, we could say. And just outside here, we have a police station, the first police station. So you'd be caught by the police. And then besides the fort, there was a court, the first law courts that were built in 1901. You'd be taken to court, and if you're found guilty, you'd be brought here. Just a short distance, walking distance.
Walking distance.
Yeah.
And this was just to deal with crimes around Mombasa?
Yes, around Mombasa, and people who were against the British colonial rule and all that. But after that, of course, it was turned into a museum, and we worked with the National Records and Archives of Omani to make the Arabic inscription in the panel, the Swahili translation, and the English, so that anybody who comes who doesn't know English
can understand Swahili. They don't understand
Swahili, can also understand Arabic.
And also we have the Sultani emblem. Yeah,
the Sultan emblem is there,
and the Kenya national.
Yeah, because this was like one of their assets, because they also ruled Mombasa and some parts of the coastal strip. That's why.
And then after we got independence, that's when it was nationalized.
Yes, International Museum. After independence, it was now called National Museums of Kenya. But Jesus, I know you'll ask me why Jesus.
Why for Jesus? Yes.
It's because Portuguese were Catholics. And they were also flying a flag they called the Order of Christ. So it's like they were spreading Christianity at the same time as they navigated around the world. People like Vasco da Gama, people like Sir Henry the Navigator, Pinto, all those guys were under the Order of Christ. And that is why when it was completed, the king, who was called King Philip II, said it should be called Jesus. And so Jesus is the name, and even during the Arab time they called it Isa, Ngome Isa.
Ngome Isa.
Yeah. These were some of the offices which were administrative centers.
For the British Protectorate.
Yes, yes, for the British Protectorate.
Okay.
So this door here is like a commemoration of all that happened during that time.
This was in
1895.
1895.
And that is the time I told you that it was also turned into a government prison.
When the British took over.
Yes.
So immediately after the Portuguese was the Arabs.
Yes.
And then the British used that passage.
They used the passage also
to take over from the Arabs.
Yeah, not the British, but the Arabs. The Arabs are the ones who came and took over from the Portuguese. And they used this passage to take
That's
over.
how they overpowered them.
Yes, yes.
And this was also money.
Yes.
Money Arabs.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So let's
So this is one of the arms. We've just been through one of the arms.
yeah, one of the arms. Now we're going into Mazrui Hall.
Mazrui Hall. This is also part of the arm, right?
Yes. These cannons are three types. We have the Portuguese type, the Omani type, and the British. Those ones you see out there are for British.
So this is Omani.
This is Portuguese.
Portuguese.
British, Omani on the
Omani.
other side, yes.
And what's the difference? Maybe
the difference is that the functionality. The Portuguese ones were much earlier, so they are not very powerful.
So their range was like
the range was small, and they are also very rusted. They are rough. The cast iron was not very complete. But the British ones are very smooth and very effective.
Maybe if I may ask, how much does the bullets, is it called a bullet?
The cannonballs.
The cannonballs, yes. How much does it weigh?
This is a small cannon, but the bigger cannon, it weighs around 5 kilograms.
5 kilograms.
One. But there are others that weigh even 10 kilograms. And they would go about 100 meters distance.
That's the strongest?
Yes, the strongest.
Okay. Yeah. The British ones?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Now
so
this particular Mazrui Hall was called Mazrui because of the people who used it. There was a time that Mazrui were leaders of Mombasa, and so they constructed this. But the Portuguese had constructed it as a reception. They call it a portico. When you want to see the captain, you'd come, wait here.
In the reception?
Yes, and then you're taken to the captain's house.
Which is to go through here.
But before that, after that, the Omani Arabs came and turned it into a meeting hall. Now they can sit here, discuss about issues of the old town, arbitrate on maybe cases about land transfer and all that.
So that's what they call the Mazrui now.
Yeah, Mazrui Hall. Yes.
Mazrui Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can go as we go.
Yeah, we can go to the captain's house and see. So these are the captain's house. Okay. The rooms of the captain's house, and you can see. The door looks short, but it's because of the silting of the ground. Because normally it keeps on
growing.
Yeah, growing. Because there's some sand during the rain season. Normally sand just come and silt here.
Oh, because this is a low.
Yeah, it's low. Yeah. And so the doors were much bigger.
So it's deeper, I presume.
Yeah. And even the floor was much deeper than this one. So you can even look at this opening here. This was basically for the lamps, the lights.
Oh, during the night?
During the night. They'll put some lamp here, another lamp over there. And also they had some decorative pieces, like the kettle, the coffee kettle, the kahawa kettle, that put it there. Or the porcelains, the Chinese porcelains, would also be placed there. And these were some of the wardrobes or cupboards.
So this is where they used to hang their...
Yeah, they used to hang their coats, their clothes. And most of them who were soldiers, of course, they would always hang their clothes there, and their medals and all that. So this was like a complete room. When you go to the other end, you also see a room like this, which also has some toilets. There were latrines, but they were inside the room. And then they'll also have some cisterns for water, to store water. So if somebody goes to the toilet, he'll use the water. They were very civilized by then. Yeah, around 15th century.
15th century,
yeah.
Very organized.
Very organized.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So this was also after the Portuguese built it, the Arabs used it, and also now the British came and
use it as a
cell now.
Yes.
As a prison, as a dungeon.
Yeah, as a dungeon. That's it.
That's it.
Now here we have a passage.
Okay.
Hello, sorry.
So this is a passage.
Yeah. So this passage.
Okay.
Used to bring in some foodstuff, some medical supply. You remember the other one was for ammunition.
For ammunition, yeah.
But this one now was for foodstuff and medical supply.
Was there like a gate?
Yeah, it was open. You see that wall over there? It was open.
Oh.
But it was blocked because during the prison time, prisoners would run away. So they kind of blocked it.
They built blocks on it.
They built blocks. But it was open to the ocean. And it's called the passage of the steps because of the several steps. Can you see the steps down here?
Yes.
A lot of steps coming up.
And these were carved out.
Yes, from the coral.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they would come with the bags and go into the storage up here. Where this one I told you that was a juvenile prison. It was a storage.
For food now.
For food. Yes.
That one was for ammunition.
For ammunition.
Now this is for food.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So as they come like this, and then they put the
They put the food stuff up there. And you know, if there are guests who are coming through here, they'll go into the guest rooms. They'll be welcome
party here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. They'll be entertained
so
here.
partying started
A
in
long
the
time.
16th century.
Now, if you look at this image here, it's how the British met the Sultan or the Liwalis, the governors of Mombasa. And you see this guy is typing in the typewriter. These were the commoners. The local people of Mombasa would sit on the floor.
These are the Zuruis, the Mazruis.
Yes, the common people now. Yeah. So these people who are the commoners were representing some tribes, like the Mijikenda, they were Swahili, they were Jomvu and Vita. So they'd be listening to the proceedings while seated down. And then the ones who are of higher hierarchy would sit on these
ones now here. So this picture is
it's exactly what really used to happen.
So this is when they exchanged.
Yeah, this is when the British had a treaty and an agreement with the Sultan. Yeah.
And who was the first British?
Okay, this is like, you remember we saw the commissioner there? Some of the commissioner was, one of the commissioners was here, Harding. And then these others are soldiers of high ranking. You can even see their medals. Very high ranked officers. And then these are Liwalis. Now you see this list here is of the different Mazruis who ruled Mombasa at different times. And it was a hereditary type of rule. I die, my son will take over, or our nephew will take over, like that. So it was a family thing.
Family rule.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Some of these exhibitions we have, like this gun is an original gun, and it's a musket gun that was used during the wars, but the bullets are a replica
of what they used to use.
Yeah, what they used to use before. It's not the original piece. Yeah.
Interesting.
But that gun is original.
So this was used by the Omans?
Yes, by the Omanis, the Baluchis, who were brought in by the Sultan.
By the Sultan.
Yes.
And then the British came with more superior weapons.
Yeah, more superior weapons than this, and then now they
That's
took
when
over.
they took over from
Yeah.
Is this an man-made? Like
not
someone makes it on his own?
Not really. Yeah. It's man-made.
Man-made. And then they came with the automated.
The
ones.
automated ones came later.
Yes.
Now you realize there is some Quranic inscription up here. Can you see the Quran, the Arabic writings? Like even up there. You notice?
Yeah.
Even down under here, there's some flowers. Now this was done by the Omani Arabs when one of the Liwalis or one of the governors was going to pilgrimage to Makkah. He did his farewell party here. So he called the delegations of the people from the old town. He asked for forgiveness because when you go to Makkah, you want to go and purify yourself. He also asked for any people who had any debts. So the farewell party was done here, and then they had some inscriptions of the Quranic verse, like a prayer. Okay, and then here we have an inscription also on the wall that was also done during that time in the 16th century. And you can even realize on the beams here, there's also some Quranic verse. And all of them are prayers. Dua, in Kiswahili we call them dua. So there were prayers to wish him well on his journey.
On his journey as he
so he went through the passage of the steps
and that's
into
how
the ocean up to Makkah.
Yeah. And that's how he migrated and left.
And left
the
Zuruis,
Mazruis.
Yes.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Thank you very much.
So you realize this is a shield. This is one of the weapons, which was a shield. You'll put it on your hands, and when you're fighting with somebody with a sword, you can block, because this is made out of rhino horn.
A rhino horn.
Yeah, rhino horn.
Oh, it wasn't illegal.
Rhino skin. Yeah, it was not legal. It was not illegal.
Yeah.
So the skin and the horn was kind of used to mix together, and it will be very tough because you can see the damage that was done by the swords. And this is the original one. This is also the original piece. Those are the daggers normally which are put on the
soldier's waist.
Yes.
So this is a belt to hold the dagger.
Yes, to hold the dagger.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
All of this is 16th century weapons.
Yes, 16th to 17th century weapon. So you realize there's a lot of drawings that were done, and this was done during the siege. There was a siege that was laid.
This is the 2-year siege?
Yes, 2.5 years siege. So the soldiers who were in here were idle, they could not do anything, they just expressed themselves through drawing. This was not done in this wall, it was outside. There's a wall outside that they did all this rock art. But we transferred it from outside into this wall because of the weather, the sun, the rain was trying to kind of wash away the whole drawings.
So is this like a wall?
Yeah, this is the material that we used to press on the wall. And when we removed, we darkened the areas, and that is when you found. It's like tracing. When you trace a drawing, you press it on the wall, and then when you turn it, you
see the
mark,
drawings.
see the mark, the drawings. So they are dhows, they are boats, and you know Arabic boats are normally 2 sails or 1, but Portuguese sails are more than 3, 4, 5 sails, several sails. So like this one is a Portuguese ship. The Arabic ship only has 1 sail.
1 sail like this one?
Yeah, this one, yes, like that one is an Arabic, yes.
This has 1?
Yeah, that has 1. And then you see there's fish, there's a lot of other, like this is a burial site, this is a graveyard. This is a church, even that one is a church. Then there are people fighting here.
So this is war?
Yeah, this is war between the Portuguese and the Arabs. Then we have a chameleon, a kind of an animal, some of the creatures that were found inside here. And then you also have a broken heart.
So these are people who are suffering from love.
Yeah, they were away from their families for quite some time before they really reached them. So because they were held up here for 2.5 years, they could not reach their families. That's why now some of them were crying,
expressing themselves.
You can even see a smoking pipe.
And the activities that they used to do, maybe recreational.
It was like the current issues. The fish was a typical food that they used.
You know, this reminds me of news, like every day.
Yeah,
this used to be their news.
Yes,
this is how they used to get information, entertainment.
And so from that, we people who came later have also seen what really they felt, the expressions and all that.
It's kind of like taking history and freezing it.
Yeah.
Thank you. So do you still?
Yeah, let's go through here. Okay. I want to show you the wall. This is the wall where the Portuguese wall paintings were.
So these paintings were here?
Yeah, these paintings were here. So we did the press method and then removed them and put them inside.
For preservation.
Yeah.
So this
initially, this was like a hole, but there is an escape route here. We have a route for escaping.
This one leads directly to the ocean.
Yeah, to the ocean. And it was like a hidden kind of passage. They used to call it an escape route. You come
so whenever you're under attack, this is what you use.
Yeah.
So
and this would go to the ocean. Yeah, no, this one was all going all the way to the ocean.
Also, right now it's just been blocked.
It's just blocked because of the prison aspects and during the military time also. But there we see the vents. These vents were opened up. They would get some fresh air from. And during the war, when the war was so much on the other side, they'd come and hide here for some time before the war cooled down and they would come out.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Wow, it's quite hot. So this used to be. This is now the corner of the arm now.
Yeah. Now this is one arm, the left arm, and it was always directed to the ocean because whatever ship that was passing through, they'd check and fire. The cannons would always be firing that way.
So this was the entry point.
Yeah, the entry point
of all ships.
Yes.
Maybe we can go closer.
Yeah.
And looking at the size of
come
this
closer.
cannon,
This is a Portuguese cannon, and it was quite big.
Overlooking the sea. So this is the water.
So like the soldier will be here, will always be checking if there is an enemy ship coming, then he will inform the others. If, for example, it's an enemy ship, they would start firing, and it makes a hole at the sides. You know, there are wooden boats, so it makes a hole, the boat would sink.
Start sinking immediately.
Then there's a watchtower up there also, very nice. You can even climb up and see.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Actually, I want the camera to climb up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a watchtower. It was a watchtower for surveillance. Wow, you can get a very nice picture up there.
Yeah.
Very nice photo. Yes.
Yeah. So this is now the corner.
So this is one corner of the left arm, and in all the corners of the Fort Jesus, there were watchtowers. Where a soldier would always be there. 12 hours, he takes a shift, he goes out, another one comes in. So 24/7, somebody was supposed to be up there. And that soldier was the one who would communicate to these
The other soldiers.
Yeah, the soldiers.
Like there's an enemy.
Yeah, there's no enemy coming, so you have to fire.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. And they're easily placed next to the kitchen.
Yes, yes. Of course, during the food, the meal time, they'll always run to the kitchen, get their food, and go ahead.
So this is one of the.
This is one of the areas where the captain also would stay, and he would strategically look at the sea.
Ah.
See the way the view is very nice. Eh?
Yes.
Now, any ship that was coming to the old port of Mombasa would pass through here. Because the old port of Mombasa
was this other side.
Yeah, this other side.
So they'll have a good view.
A good view before it reaches the old port. They have decided whether it's an enemy or a friend. Yeah.
So this used to be the captain's quarters?
Yeah, captain's quarters. He'd always come here and sit with his soldiers and monitor. And if he's not there, the other soldiers will also be checking to see. You see, that is the deep sea, the open sea. That open sea will take you to Zanzibar and India on this side.
Zanzibar on this side.
This side, India.
India on this side. So most of them used to come from the India side.
Yeah, India side, from the Persian Gulf.
Persian Gulf.
Yeah. Those light white posts you're seeing, the pillars, are used for showing the pilot that those are shallow areas. You should avoid going into those sides.
They might easily get a rock.
Yeah, they can get a rock or the corals and it might wreck. So they only use the middle part. Yeah.
Did they dig out?
Yeah, it was dug out about 100 meters deep. Yeah.
So for ships to.
Yeah, for ships to be able to move.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hope my camera has gotten that side. Yeah. So this is still the.
Yeah, this is still the other. You know, we blocked this part because of one of the walls that was falling down. But this is what we had seen from the passage of the arches.
Oh yes.
That is the head. That is where the firing platform was. It's where you see those cannons are facing towards the sea. So most of the war was fought on that side. This is the captain's house. You remember we went inside here?
Oh yes.
So we are standing on top of the passage.
Of the passageway.
Yeah.
And this is where the cannons were. And the watchtower here.
Yes.
Yeah. A watchtower like exactly like that.
Exactly like the other one on the other arm. Now there are two here, one here, and there's another one on this side.
On this other side.
Then there's another one on the other arm, on the right arm. And this is where they used to store their food stuff.
Store for food stuff, and this is how they used to come in.
Yeah, to come in through the passages. And this was a juvenile prison, this part.
Now after the British took over.
After the British took over.
And what was this area?
This was like an area for just a sitting area. During the prison time, some of the wardens, the prison wardens would always use it as accommodation. Some of them would stick here also for some meetings or some discussions. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Perfect. I see where the most hotels in Mombasa.
Yeah, they normally have such.
Take their architecture. It's mostly inspired by Fort Jesus.
Yeah. But now we are also using it as a lime juice shop. People can come and buy some things as they move on.
As they move on.
Yeah.
So this is the flag point.
Yeah, the flag post, where they put a flag when during the time that whoever was occupying the fort.
So now we're entering the
kitchen. This is the kitchen here.
Area.
And I'll show you how. Okay, in the open here, in the opening, we have artists who are local artists. We normally like giving them a platform to be able to showcase their talents. This guy here is normally an artist who is making things from embroidery, from clothes, from different material, and even art. He paints a lot of art. So he sells his art also.
Okay, hello, my name is Roy Bahati. I'm an artist. I'm a budding artist. I have my mentor who is doing the artwork right now at the museum. Right now we deal with fashion and a lot of majorly visual art, but fashion using the kitenge material. So we make shorts, we make some pillowcases, we make jackets. The jackets are going for 2,500. We have the shorts going for 1,500. Yeah.
Shorts, jackets going for.
Yeah, the jackets are going for 2,500. Yeah.
And the artwork.
The artwork is ranging from 5,000 to it can go up depending on the piece. Sometimes you get a client who wants something custom made for them. They want a portrait of themselves, or they do want something different, but depending on the size, the prices do, yeah,
And can
they
people
do
order
vary.
online?
Yeah.
How
You
can they
go,
get you?
yeah, you go on Instagram, you go to Shedrack_Musyoki_art. You'll find the pieces there that have been done, some of them that have been sold, but you can also DM us to get anything from the fashion to the art.
And how can they reach you directly? Do you have like a phone number maybe you can give if someone wants to call you directly?
Yeah, you can call 0707 134 514. That is my number. You talk to me, I can organize everything. You need Shedrack, you'll get him on a different one, but you can still get him on Instagram. He's always, yeah.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. If you need
Yeah.
anything,
They can
Shadrack
always,
is here, and
yeah.
he'll also help you out on that.
Yes.
So
So
with that,
this is
I'll
like
give-
after
Mhm.
some time. Normally, another artist would come and showcase his stuff.
Mhm.
So it's a temporary rotational exhibition
So like Shadrack is here for how long?
for like 3 months up to December, and then another person will come do his showcase.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that at least we have more exhibitors coming in.
And are they from what do you call it? Is it like local community artists?
Yes,
or
yes.
just people from different
No,
areas?
even from different areas come. Provided you make a request
Mm.
and you come, we see if there's availability, you're
Mm.
given space.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
They
before
come
we
all
go,
the way
definitely
from,
I'll give you Raphael's contacts so that you know, if you're an artist,
Yeah.
you know how you can get Raphael.
Yes.
Or I think Raphael, you can just give them your.
Yeah, my contact is 0722
Mhm.
253 458. I'm the head of public programs here in Fort Jesus, and I'm the one who coordinate the exhibitions, the temporary and the permanent exhibitions. So we'll be able to connect. And here we can see the chimney. There's a chimney here. Now this is the
Thank you very
aspect
much,
of
Shadrack.
the kitchen. They'll put firewood on this part, and the smoke would go out into the chimneys that we've seen out there.
The two chimneys.
Yeah, the kitchen. So the big pan would be put here. They'd cook some food, and the soldiers or the prisoners would come through here, pick their food, and move on.
So this was like the dining hall.
Yeah.
Where-
Or like the mess.
The mess. Aha.
Yes.
Before we leave, maybe we can just meet Shadrack, who is in charge of the art that Roy just showed us.
Yeah.
And maybe Shadrack can just give us a word or two.
Yeah, so but I think it's better you do the other thing.
The other side, yes.
On the other side.
We'll go
Yeah.
and do it
Yeah,
together
okay.
because you have some art there.
Yeah, the other side.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tuende.
Sasa niambie mambo shwari.
poa.
Wacha tuende. So here we have another chimney, and then just same technique, firewood and the pan. But in this section you also have some bags that they call the rocker bags. These are from the waste material. Whenever you have banners, like you put a banner for an event, after the event you throw the banner away. So they take the banners and they make some creative art.
Oh, so these are made from the leftover banners.
Yeah, leftover banner. The plastics you see. So they
Like
come up with
billboards and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yes.
Ah.
There's a lady here, Malika.
As you can see on the price.
She will tell us something about this place.
Mm.
Yeah, Malika, vipi?
Jambo sana. How are you, Malika? I'm very well. My name is Leroy. I'm just doing a vlog on Fort Jesus. So maybe if you can introduce yourself and then tell us what you do.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm Marika.
Okay.
I'm a department of sales and marketing. So what we do at Roka is we recycle the billboards and banners. So you know the billboard for advertisement. Yeah, we recycle them to make these bags.
So like you go to Magnet Ventures, you tell them okay, but here the material,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So these are made from leftover adverts.
Yes.
Okay.
So and then we later combine them with this African attire.
African material.
Yeah.
They're called Ankara.
Yes. To make it more fashionable. So they are also waterproof since they are recycled from the billboards and trendy, strong, and durable.
So maybe if you can just take us through a few pieces and maybe how much.
This looks nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
For this, sorry about the bust.
It's okay, I can hold it.
Oh, okay.
That's big, eh?
Yeah, our biggest bag
This is the
actually.
biggest part.
Yeah.
Can I open it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So this is what you find inside.
So for here inside it has laptop compartment. For you, if you have a laptop, you can still put your laptop and your other files here. Yeah.
And it goes for, if I can just look at the price tag, it goes for 28.50, and this is the biggest bag.
Mm.
Yeah. So what about just a normal regular?
We have for the waist bag, we have some other design.
No, this is the biggest.
Yeah.
Maybe the small one is the best.
Yeah.
Here. So this would be a normal regular laptop bag, and it's going for this. Yeah. And maybe if you can just explain to us how maybe they can find you. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then
we
if you have a social media page, Instagram, or maybe you can give us that and then give us a number so if anyone wants to order, you can just reach you there.
yeah, you can reach us on social media. We call ourselves Rocker Bags Africa. You just see our logo.
Rocker Bags Africa.
Yeah.
Back that we can.
You'll just see our logo and know it's us. We also have our website. It's there in our bio.
And out on your bag.
Yes.
And what if someone wants to call you directly? Can they do that?
Yeah, they can.
Okay, we're going to give them a number. This is Rocker Bags, and yeah, there we go. Recycled billboards.
Yeah, billboards, yes.
Yeah.
So this is
Very
a way,
creative.
one way of empowering the local community, the youth, to be able to be innovative and creative and be able to make some income generating. So the creativity of using the waste material into productive material is what has really brought them to be with us here.
And
So
the other
after
thing
some
is
time,
also,
yes.
The other thing is also it's contributing to reduction in climate change.
Yes, climate change, environmental, degradation and wastes and all that. So Malika is doing a good job.
Thank you very much, Malika.
These are some of the collections that we put here from the local community. These are grinders for grinding cereals like maize, flour, and many other items. They used to have a handle here, but because of several visitation, people take away the handle. But this particular one was brought from Goa, India. And this is a typical also grinding stone. Normally there is a mat that is kept beneath it. Here. So when you grind, the flour that is coming out of it will be now collected by there. And then this one is you use your hand, you just put some cereals and then you grind, just like that.
So for those who are familiar with posho mills, this is the traditional.
This is a traditional posho mill. And they'll be able to grind as much as possible.
The spices.
Yeah, spices. And this is a mortar and pestle that is traditionally used for pounding maize and so on.
So this is how they used to make their flour.
Yeah,
the wheat flour.
And then up here we have one of the containers for sieving in case there are some chaffs. Then you can play about with it and be able to make sure you remove all the...
This is before they put it.
Yeah, before they put it there, they use this. When they bring it here now, they try to remove the smaller other pieces that are not unwanted pieces. Yeah. Maybe we can do the art first.
I will do the art before we enter.
Yeah. So this is Shadrach's art, and he is here for until December. So he's here. He does a lot. Even the other parts that we saw, the materials. He is the brain behind it. These ones are from coral rocks, yes, and they'll be used to anchor a ship. You know, normally when there's a lot of currents blowing, the ship would be dragged away. But these are very heavy.
These are very heavy. And the chain would be here.
Yeah, the chain will be there. That will be tied to the boat or to the ship.
And then it will anchor it.
It will anchor itself there. And this one is not an anchor. This is the back part of the boat, the wooden boat. And this part will be tied to the back part of the boat. But this is like a steering wheel.
Or like a rudder.
Yeah, like a rudder. Yes, it's a rudder in fact.
It's a rudder,
yeah. So it can at least change direction of the boat.
So if they want to go left,
they
turn it on the right.
Turn it on the right.
To go right, like they turn it on the left.
Yeah.
So these are the olden
ones. Yeah, this is typically from Omani Arabs.
Okay.
These are from some tombs, Islamic tombs, in some of the abandoned sites, in Kwale, in Lamu, Gede, wherever. These normally there are some Arabic words inscribed there to show who was buried in some particular area.
That's how you get to the burial.
And then here, I think I'd like to tell you about this. These are vigangos.
Vigango.
Vigango. One is Kigango, several Vigango.
Vigango. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are they for?
These ones are for appeasing the ancestors.
Vigango.
Yeah, Vigango. These ones signify a spiritual being of somebody. So like the elders, Kaya elders, the very prominent elders of a certain tribe, normally if he dies, they have a Kigango put at the homestead. Just next to the entrance of the homestead, they put something like this. So during the calamities, like the droughts, like during the floods, somebody would come and appease them by pouring some coconut palm wine
Down here.
or even placing some food. And he believes that at least they will listen to what problems they have, and they'll be able to rescue them from whatever problems they have.
This started in
Way
16th
back,
century,
16th century, even before that. And this is the Bantu or Mijikenda of the coastal strip. The Digo, the Giriama, the Kauma, the Choni,
the 9 Mijikenda.
the 9 Mijikenda. At one time, some celebrities bought this from Africa and took them to America. And they placed them in their houses like decorations. But you know what happened? At night they could not sleep.
Because these things would...
Yeah, they were haunted. They would hear voices. They
Ah.
would hear people crying. And so they could not stay in their houses. So they had to return them back. So we have about 70 of them in our conservation store
That were returned back.
that were returned from America.
Because
What happened is like I bought one of these and it brings me a problem. I take it to a museum. Then the museum collaborates with us.
and they
Then we
repatriate it.
repatriate it up to this place. So there's been a lot of repatriation of these vigangos and other objects, not only these ones.
Because they carry spiritual significance.
Yes, spiritually, yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually real. It's not.
It's not a story. And even this one before they were put here, we had a ritual. We had a ceremony with the old elders. We slaughtered a goat, and then there was a ritual that was done for us to be able to put them here. If not, we would not be able to do anything with them. Yeah. The leaders, and the leaders normally selected after some years. They change. The current leader from 2014 up to now is Shahib. Who is currently in place as their leader of the Baluchi people. And you can see how organized they are, because they even have meeting places. They kind of have even a mosque. There is a Baluchi mosque. They even have their own ceremonies that they do. Baluchis came to Mombasa from the time the Sultan was here.
And where are they from originally?
They are originally from Afghanistan and Pakistan. There's a country that was called Baluchistan, but now it is no longer there. It was kind of swallowed by these two
Pakistan and
Pakistan
Afghanistan.
and Afghanistan. So these are cultural attire of the Baluchis.
Okay.
Like this is a wedding gown, which has a lot of colors. There's some of the weaving and jewelry. Some of the jewelry that they use during the weddings, and even here we have some young kids from the Baluchi.
And at what point did they enter?
They came around 1698 when the fort was under siege. So they're the ones who came and took out the Portuguese from the fort. And during that time, they were brought in by the Sultan, because he never had fearless soldiers like this. So they were paid like mercenaries, and they fought. And this is some of the cuisine is just like the Swahili cuisine we have locally here.
Baluchi cuisine.
Yeah, Baluchi cuisine.
So are they responsible for a lot of the food culture we have in Mombasa?
Yes, they do. Because some of the mishakiki mostly are from the Baluchi people. They like doing the mishakiki.
And this
is the pottery.
Some of the
pottery that are normally made by the women. Women are so good at that. And then you can see some of the images showing how they would do the pottery with their hands.
Did they used to cook on the pots, or
yes, they used to cook on pots, and they were so good in making herbs. They're very good at boiling some herbs and treating various medicine, various diseases. Sorry, they also are so good in embroidery. You see how they use their hands in weaving and coming up with some very nice embroidery. Some of
these are some of their suits.
Yeah, the suits, the embroidery. They are so good at kind of knitting and the shoes, the leather shoes, typical Omani. So they are mostly related with the Iranians Afghanistan's, and Pakistanis.
And Pakistani.
Yeah.
The same family.
Yeah, same family. And then this section is all about collections of objects that have been found in different settlements, like all the way from Lamu, Mogadishu, Mombasa, Malindi, Pemba, Zanzibar. Some of these objects are found from the sites that were abandoned, the Swahili sites that were
abandoned.
Yeah.
So once they are found and they are located, they are sent.
Yeah, like you can see, there is the centuries that they were used. This is 11th century. Okay, and we have two. This is for the Arabic, and this is for the this is the Arabic, and this is the one for the usual calendar. Yeah.
And this is what was found and repatriated back.
Yeah, of course. Some of the objects that were found in abandoned settlements, Swahili settlements, some of these. Alaikum salam. Hello, sir.
So here there's a reflection.
Yeah.
I'll just go quickly like this.
Oh, there's a reflection in it.
Yeah, so I can't.
Yeah. But you can see some of the dhows or boats that were used also.
Yeah, I want to come easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these are some of the models of the boats that were used to sail all the way from the Persian Gulf up to the East African coast, and they would use these sails. Yeah. And these particular boats did not have any nail. They only used some ropes and some pegs to make the boats. They never used any nail.
So this one is a Turkish.
It's a tepe. We call it. Yeah, this is a Turkish sign.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of influence, and there were some Turkish people also who were interested in Mombasa. So most of the boats would come this way.
Okay.
But typically, this is just an example of all the boats that were coming to dock at the old port of Mombasa.
From the 16th century.
16th century, like you can see this. These are some of the decorations, which looks like a beak of a bird.
Of a bird, yeah.
This was the steer, the one that we called the radar. Yeah.
The one that you've seen outside?
Yeah, the one you saw outside. This is part of them. Yeah.
And these are the drums that were found?
Yeah, drums that were found, very old drums that were being used.
It's even saying, what happens when you touch it because of the aging?
No, it's not supposed to. Because of the aging, you can really damage it. That's why we don't want to. For 19th century, these are currents. All of them are somehow whole, and you can see some are blue, some are red. And then you also have some of the French porcelain, which looks like the Chinese porcelain, but they have some Arabic inscription over there.
This is also...
Yeah, this is part of the collections also that were found in some of the ruined sites like Gede, or like even here in Fort Jesus, some of them are found here. This is a lamp that was used. You put some ghee in it, and then you light a small wick, which can light through the
night.
Oil, yeah. So the oil will support it for some time.
Like a candle.
Yeah, like a candle. Yeah, and it will stay for quite some time. This is a dragon. You see, the dragon is quite significant to the Japanese people. Some of the porcelains that are found, very unique. You can't find them anywhere else.
With old traditional.
Yeah, these ones are for holding some of the tobacco in them.
Like an ashtray.
Like an ashtray, or like a container for the tobacco.
Okay.
Yeah. Even these ones are sniff. You put the tobacco inside, and then you can sniff. Those small ones you see.
Small ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. These are containers of food or water.
And the plates.
Yeah, the plates that were used. These were very precious. So if you're served in a plate like this, then you're a very important person. And for the visitor, you'll feel very empowered. Appreciated. These are, like, you should remember, this was one of the shields. This is a musket with the sword. Then some of the swords also. Then that kind of an object that looks like pliers. It's for making bullets. Normally the iron is hit, and then it is put in between those ones, and it comes out as a bullet.
As a ball.
Yeah. These are bullet pockets, like wallets that were putting bullets in them. So the soldiers would always wear them in their belts. Yeah, this for a dagger. These ones were like horns that would be blown to give some warnings, or
Like
to
when
call
the enemy is
people,
coming.
yeah, like also call people for announcements, musical instruments, local, even from the interior. These are jewelry for the Arabs. Yeah, yeah. Omani Arabs. This is a headscarf.
And then this is like a gong.
Yeah, but this particularly is for the communal eating. About 10 people will sit around it and eat the food from that plate.
So like a
put
sinia.
pilau, yeah, sinia.
Uh-huh.
You put pilau, and normally it's copper, so it doesn't really absorb a lot of heat. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And this is now the
Yeah, these are traditional
bows and
containers, bows and arrows. Of course, the combs that were used before. This is a headrest for the herders. Yeah, yeah.
And what about the chain?
This chain normally is just like a decorative piece that you put around your shoulder. Yeah. And some of them are used even by the cattle. There's a bell so that you can hear where your cattle are. Additional muzi for grating the coconut husk. Yeah. And this piece is made from one piece of wood.
But this is one piece of wood just carved out?
They just carved it out until they managed to get that. It's not 2 pieces or 3 pieces. Only 1 piece.
And here? Up.
Chest. And this chest is quite big because it has a lot of compartments. And precious items can be put there. And you'd find that it also has drawers beneath it where you can put a lot of material.
So this is what they used to put in their offices?
Yes, mostly in offices, or even when they're traveling on a boat, on a ship, they'll put their precious items here. And then it will be tied with a chain so that it does not fall into the ocean. Even if there are so high tides or waves.
Can this last in the ocean for a long time?
Yes, it does.
For example, if a ship capsizes?
Yes, yes, it can last. Like all these objects you see here were from the shipwreck that was discovered in 1977.
In something like this now?
Yeah, something like this. And then some of them, like you see this pot was found inside there. Some of these containers you're seeing over here, those cannons over there, all these porcelains that you see here, all these objects like the buckles of the belts. Here we have an hourglass that was found in that ship.
These are all rescued from a ship?
All these were found from the ship that is just about 100 meters deep in the waters here. Those angels over there were to scare away any evil spirits.
These two?
Yeah, because Portuguese were Catholic, so they believed that those were like angels, and they'd put them next to their boat, to the sides of the boat, to at least protect them from any evil spirit on the voyages. Yeah.
And who's the captain over there?
Yeah, that was one of the Portuguese soldiers, just dressed in his Portuguese attire. Yeah.
And this is how they laid their table.
Yeah, the table. Yeah, they set the table. This is the ship, and then the bronze breech loading guns. These are the cannons that were made out of bronze. Yeah.
The first one.
You know why? Because in the water there's salty humidity. There's climate. The waters are salty, so the bronze would last longer than any other iron. Yeah. This guy is just to showcase how they did the excavation. Yeah, because it was done by the Kenya Navy, American Navy, and some college in university in USA.
And this is how they retrieved?
Yeah, this is how they retrieved some of the objects. And even these pieces you see here are from that particular ship.
Shipwreck?
Yeah, from the shipwreck.
Yeah. Nice.
There's the Queen's crown. This is the Queen's crown, and this is just a serialization of the weapons. But this will tell you that it was all the way from Scotland. Yeah, in the UK. And you see how big it is, how huge. And these ones are more effective than the others that we've seen.
Than the Portuguese ones?
Yeah, yeah.
So these ones were used by the British?
Yeah, by the British. This one here is a church. This was a church that was used by the Portuguese, and they would worship mostly during Sundays. and there was a father, and there were some nuns in the church. So we have a skeleton of one of the nuns who died during the period of the siege. And the middle parts are the pillars that were holding the rooftop. Most of the water would be directed to this water cistern here. You can see the water cistern beside it. That was for storage of water. And the roof was slanted, so the rainwater would be collected inside. Inside that particular cistern. And it was dug about 11 feet. 11 feet says R. But before, it used to be the Portuguese burial sites. This is where they used to bury their dead. But when the excavation started around here, they built this building, and the first curator was living in these rooms. Him and his family lived here.
Portuguese?
No, he was British.
British.
He was a British, yes. Okay.
So this is the legs now. We are the legs.
So that building you see over there is the right leg. Yeah? That is the right leg. And then that is the right leg, the left leg.
The right leg?
Right leg, left leg.
Left leg.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is now the courtyard, the church area?
The church area. And then this is now the western west side. Okay, that is the north, the south, the west, the east. So the head is towards the east, and then the legs are towards the western side.
Western side.
Yeah.
No, east west.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all these, you see, all these rooms here were used in terms of laundry, storage. The church is over there, and some of the nuns were also living in these particular quarters. Yes.
So what happened is aging, like
aging, and then also the bombardments from the seaward side during the British War with the Masrui. This church was brought down. Yeah. Now behind the cistern, there is a well. This well was dug by the Omani Arabs. And when they dug this, they thought the water in the cistern was poisoned. So they suspected, and they did not use it. They came and dug their well. But the well became salty, so they could not also use it. So they had to go back to the
cistern again, the rainwater cistern.
Yeah, again.
So this well is still having water, but salty.
Yeah. Still, but we use it because we have the washrooms. We have some sanitation we do. We also have the grass. We kind of try to use water to make sure that it becomes green and all that.
And what are the lights for? The
lights are for the sound and light show, which is normally done at night. Every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
There's normally a show.
There's normally a show from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
And it's held here?
It's normally, you see that wall? There's a projection that normally happens on that wall. So animation and the stories are told about that particular
particular wall now.
Yes, that particular wall. Yes, over
so
there.
It's projected there.
Yeah, from there. I'll show you the projector when you reach the other side. The projector normally directs, and at night it's dark, so you'll be able to see a very good story being told from the animations.
And the stories, how do you curate the story? Are they
we are the ones who talk about the Portuguese era, we talk about the Omani era, we talk about the British era.
So it's historical story?
Yeah, it's historical. And it's one voice normally talks, and then you see the action in terms of the filming. Yeah. And there's also sound.
Yeah. So the sound is also...
Yeah, it's all over. In fact, there are so many speakers around. Yeah, there's so many speakers around. And so the sound, normally you'll hear it very much. And then there's some lights also that normally put in the trees or in the sides. The place is lit up with a lot of different colors: red, blue, yellow, and so on.
Interesting.
And then in the end, we have fireworks. Yeah.
And this is every
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And what are the charges? Are they different from
for the locals? It's 500 shillings. International is 1,000.
This is added to the park fees.
Yes.
So it's 200 plus 500.
500, yes. No. When you come at night, you don't pay for 200 shillings. You only pay 500, and that is all.
And that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you have it, folks. If you want the night show, every Thursday from 7. 7 up to 9. 7 up to 9.
Yeah.
And the charges are 500 bob.
500 bob.
So you're Welcome, guys, to
Yeah.
Fort Jesus, and it's a night show.
It's a night show.
Night
Every
light show.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And this is where it happens.
Yeah. This is a toilet. They would squat here,
Mhm.
and then the droppings would go out. When the water comes outside, it will wash away whatever is outside there.
So this one is leading to the sea.
To the sea.
Mm.
Because outside there was a moat.
Mm.
So the waters would always come during the high tide and go away during the low tide.
So
it was
that's
a
how the
mechanism of-
flashing.
Yes.
I get it.
That is a very big way of flushing. So there are several toilets. There's another one here.
This is also a toilet,
Yeah.
and also this one.
Yeah. That is a urinal.
Oh, urinal.
Yeah. And then there are so many others here besides here. You see on
So
this
all
wall,
these are toilets.
the toilets. Yes. It's like this was a washroom or some of a sort. But they were open because people will not hide themselves.
Oh, so if someone wants to come to the toilet, they just come open.
They just come open and do their things. All those were washrooms, yes. Toilets. And you know, this side was for male.
For
The
men.
other one was for the female. Yeah, so that's
so
why
this is the
they will
men's
not fear
side?
anything. Yeah.
So the men's side is just purely open.
Yasimama ana squat pale anafanya mambo yake, then the water outside will clean because during high tide the water will come in, during low tide inasafisha. So this is not the real skeleton, this is a replica. The real skeleton is 9 feet under.
Oh, so this is a replica.
This is just a
of-
replica of how the skeleton was. Now this was a discovery from skeletons of one of the nuns who was working in the church. Yeah, she was buried here. And even other people are buried in this area. Yeah.
So this is the grave site.
Yeah, this is the grave site, this is a graveyard.
Mm.
And then next to it you have the Omani house.
This is the
This is
Omani
the
house.
Omani house.
Mhm.
Yeah, the one in maroon color.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you know why they called it Omani house?
Yeah.
It's because it was the last resistance point of the Portuguese.
Ah,
This is where the captain was stabbed and killed.
the last captain
for Portuguese.
for the Portuguese.
Yes.
And then they turned it into an Omani house.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
So this is now a
Yeah.
crime scene.
Yeah, this is a crime scene. Sure. So when you go up, we'll see some of the exhibitions. That this is the last point.
So this is the Omani house.
Yeah, this is Omani house. So another model of the boat. This is the Mtepe, and you can see how big size the sail is.
Yeah.
But the real size sail normally is quite big, very big, and there are no nails like I told you.
Mm.
There are only ropes and pegs, wooden pegs.
So that's
That's
how
how
they use.
Yeah, they used to build that.
This is how they build
The pegs. Yes, the joining was through the pegs,
Uh-huh.
and then these ropes would be to tie 2 pieces of wood.
Ah.
And then the other interesting thing is they use the shark oil
Mm.
to apply at the sides to make it waterproof. So here we have the interaction of the East African people with the Persian Gulf, the sultans, and you see some of the items that were traded in the maritime trade. You see how big it was, the Indian Ocean maritime trade. The routes were quite big. They would come all the way from China, from India, from Omani, from Iraq, from the Arabian Peninsula, all the way up to Madagascar.
To Africa,
down Mauritius,
Madagascar.
yeah. So it was quite a big trade. And of course, the Quran was also part of the exchange, and the ivory tusks, which were part of the goods that were sold at that time. And this is Zanzibar. This is the House of Wonders, Bet Al Jaib. This is where the palace of the Sultan was. You know, in 1844, Zanzibar was the capital city of the coastal strip plus the Omani.
Even Mombasa here.
Yeah, even Mombasa.
So the
All the way
Sultan
Lamu.
used to
Yeah,
be based in
Sultan
Zanzibar.
in Zanzibar.
Ah.
Yes. These are the sultans. The first sultan was called Sultan Said bin Sultan Al Busaidi, and then followed by Said Sultan Majid bin Said bin Abdus. They are all Busaidis.
Busainis.
Yeah, because they would inherit. If maybe the father dies, the son would inherit, or the brother, or the cousin, or the nephew. And so all these rulers of Zanzibar and the coastal strip of Mombasa, East African coast, all the way from Zanzibar, all the way from Mogadishu up to Muscat.
They are the rulers. Who are the rulers?
They are the rulers. Yes.
And here?
Here we have our Sultan, of course, William Samoei Ruto.
Okay.
But this was the former Sultan who died, and this is his nephew, who is now ruling Oman. Yes. Yeah, this is the current Oman, and you can see what is really happening, like the infrastructure. There is the medical, the health practitioners. This is the airport. This is one of the very big palace or governorate of the Muscat. This is a greenhouse. These are industrial aspects in Oman. This is a school where kids at least are doing the. And then here we have an opera house, which was really quite something that was not found in the Islamic world. But now they have. Then this is a Qaboos mosque. Qaboos was now the former president, Sultan. This is a palace or a fort. This is also a palace for the Sultan. And then here we have some game, some wildlife. We have places where you can visit that are very interesting. Like this is camels just next to the ocean. And we have some very nice sites, archaeological sites that were discovered. So different areas, like this is the aerial view. This is the irrigation that they do there. So
looking at the pictures, it's like Oman hasn't really come out of its olden way of architecture.
They haven't changed. Like if you look at this, the architecture is still the same. Even the color of the structure of the buildings is still the same.
It's not like modern as Dubai.
No. It's not really as modern as. Of course, it's not like Dubai or maybe any other.
This is a way of preserving the culture.
Preserving the cultures. Yes. Now, this particular image here is showing us how Sultan Qaboos has opened up his economy. This is Reagan. This is the French president, the same guy here. This is Queen Victoria. Queen Elizabeth, sorry. Yeah, this is the Saudi head. This is the Khomeini from Iraq and Iran. And then some of also the local people in Oman. And this is the Qaboos who opened up the economy. And their dollar right now is very strong as compared to the other Arabic currency.
So there we have it, folks. This is the Oman house.
Yeah.
And this is where they come for entertainment, or?
No, this is where now we can have some documentaries being played in terms of historic aspects of the fort and also the Omani themselves, their cultures, and the places to visit in Oman when you go to Oman. So this is where we signed the visitors book, but I think they've taken it out because of time. But this is where visitors books are signed.
Is this Omani architecture?
Yes, this is Omani architecture, the chair, and also this looks like the Swahili architecture also, because Omani and Swahili are almost similar. Yeah.
So there we have it, folks. This is the Oman house.
Yeah.
Okay, as said.
Yeah, so let's go out and see some of the. Now this is a typical Omani house canon.
With the emblem on top.
Yeah, the emblem on top of Arabic inscriptions, and it was donated by the Zanzibar Sultan, Sultan Said Khalifa bin Said of Zanzibar is the one who donated this to the National Museums of Kenya. So it really shows you how different it is from the other canons.
It's smaller.
Yeah, it's smaller and then quite smooth, and the material used is an alloy, a mixture of copper and lead. Yeah. This is the way the security or the soldiers would stay in the watchtowers. And This is an example of one of the soldiers. He'd have his weapons by the sides, and he'd also have a dagger. So he was readily prepared, and he'd be looking outside to see any defense, any person coming to attack them towards the mainland.
And then he'll raise an alarm,
Yeah.
and the guards will
The
strike.
guards would strike, yes. These are some aerial views of Oman.
Mm.
It looks very traditional. The forts are very traditional. They preserved their culture so well.
The buildings still look like
Yeah,
old
they
town
still look like
Mombasa.
old town, like
Yeah.
the old, like this you see is a palace. But the way they have constructed the structures, they still preserve the architecture.
Mm.
Yeah. Very beautiful.
Interesting. And this is also modern
Yeah.
Oman.
This is their cultures. Just like the Mombasa people, they do weaving, just the same way as them. They also have some celebrations, traditional events, just like Mombasa people when we have our own traditional. This is the attire. Those are some of the silversmiths who are showcasing. And then the dates, the plant, the dates. And this is a toilet. Another example of a toilet. That also you wash away the stuff, which will be taken away by.
This is to be female or male?
And this would be female,
Female.
but even male could use it because there's a curtain here.
Mm.
Yeah,
So I'm realizing most female are hidden, male is open.
the male is open.
Ah, men don't need a lot of privacy.
Yeah, men normally don't care. They can do anything anyway.
Oh yes, and this is the boat.
Yeah, this is the model of the boat, and we try to make a typical that looks like the same boats that you have in the ocean.
Do you make them hand from scratch or what?
Yeah, from scratch. It takes some time. We still have some of the boat builders here in Mombasa. Maybe sometime when you come for your work, I can take you to the boat builders. They can show you how the boats are built right from the scratch up to the finish. It takes about a year, and they normally have some ceremonies that they do.
To build something like this, or a boat that
No,
you
a
use?
bigger boat, a bigger boat. So here, this is a humpback whale, and basically that is the head. This is the spine and the rib cages, and this particular one was wrecked in the ocean. Yeah.
How did they bring the skeleton here?
Okay, they brought the whole fish, but they dragged it from very far. It was found in a place called Ungwana, near Kipini in Lamu.
When it was still intact?
Yeah,
and
it was
dead?
still intact. It found itself in the shallow waters and could not swim into the deeper water. So the fishermen, of course, took the meat away and left the bones. So we decided to have an exhibition of the fish itself to showcase the size and how big the fish could be. Here with the exhibition, but it will look like a complete humpback whale. Yeah.
Do you have images of the humpback whale?
Yeah, here. These are the images, yes.
That's the humpback whale.
Yeah. And this was a young one.
How many?
This is a young one. Yeah, this is real. This was a young one. So you can imagine how the mother was if this is a young one. There's some facts. You can have one that is about for 25 to 35. Ingekuwa imeenda mbali sana. Ana miaka. These whales can live for over 100 years, from 45 to 100, just like human beings. Kumbe jamaa anachoma. Yeah, interesting, yeah?
Very interesting.
These are some of the trolleys that were used to push people around the old town of Mombasa up to Kilindini port. They used to have a railway line all the way from the old port up to Kilindini.
And this is this trolley?
This one was for luggages.
For luggages.
For luggages,
Okay.
yes. But this one was for the men.
So this is the first container.
Yeah, transportation. So people would sit here, and then the other stronger people would push from this side. So 2-3 people can sit over there, and then 2 people can push And you know, they push it on the railway line.
On the railway line.
Yeah.
I was asking, like, it doesn't have wheels.
No, the wheels were on the rail.
Ah,
Yeah. This one has just fallen down, but it was supposed to be on top of the
the rail.
rail.
So this
And
is,
the railway line would go all the way from the old town up to the Treasury Square.
so this one was the mode of transport from maybe the Sultan.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And even during the British time, it was part of the. You pay some money and you're pushed wherever you want.
So there we go, folks. We have it. Unless
Yeah.
now we're done. There's one more thing you have to show us on the lights, and then we're done.
Yeah, that's it.
I can see they're already preparing.
Yeah, they're
for-
preparing. So
the show.
you'll see all these lights would be now hitting different walls, different trees. Even under the trees, there's also some different lights that will come up. So you can see they're trying now to prepare. And this light will also be doing some kind of lighting twists up there. Yeah.
And that's where they project.
Yeah, that's the projector. And then on this wall, let's just go this side, you see the wall well. So this wall is where they would project. From that side, the projector would be putting some lenses, very strong lenses, that will be now showcasing some kind of animation
The film.
of how the sultans fought, how the boats were sunk, how the cannons were being thrown. Very interesting. Yeah.
They're all animation. Do you have also films, or this?
Yeah, they also have films. Like if you have a birthday and you have something you want to be projected, they also do that.
Do you also do weddings and events like that?
Yes, we do weddings. And if during the weddings you also want to project something, you can also do the same. Yeah. Like you can project happy birthday Leroy, to be able to enjoy. And then the fireworks normally is done just on this wall.
On the wall.
On the
as
wall,
well.
yes. And you can see the speakers are quite high powered, massive. So the sound is normally very heavy.
Very heavy.
Yeah. So these are some of the examples of the cannons, like I told you. These are mainly Portuguese cannons. You can see how rusted they are. And I also wanted to come and, after here, I want to show you one of the cannons and see how heavy it is.
One of the cannon balls.
Like you see, this one is stuck. This one got stuck here. But it's a cannonball that was, several of them were supposed to be pushed inside, but this one's stuck here. But there's one here. This is one example of the cannons. So normally they are pushed inside, several of them, and then they put the gunpowder there, which will now be explosive. It will now be pushing them in intervals.
Like one by one by one?
Yeah, one by one. Yeah. And it's quite, it's about over 5 kilograms.
5 kilograms?
Yeah, it's very heavy. Very heavy.
Oh, yeah. 5 kg.
You want to try? Yeah.
Even heavier.
It's heavier than the ball, yeah. Just like the shot put, yeah? Yeah, shot put. You want to try?
And this once it's launched will cause a lot of damage.
Yeah. It causes, in fact, even on the wall, if it is hit properly, it can fall. It can make the wall fall down. Yeah.
So it's quite powerful.
It's quite powerful. Yeah, and you know, because of the gunpowder, the cannons are normally very hot, red hot. So when it leaves out, it can cause fire wherever it's being hit. So now, folks, we come to the end of our Fort Jesus, and I welcome you back to Fort Jesus any other time. My telephone number is 0722 253 458. My name is Raphael Abdul Majid Igombo, and we welcome you any other time. So, karibuni sana.